What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Average Bob, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the terrible Giants loss to the Saints where nothing really happened. I just turned on my camera and turned the ring light on, and I'm like, shit, dude, you look bad. No, it is. I look like a bum, like how the Giants looked on Sunday. That was probably the highlight of the game right here. Is Saquon's big catch right off the bat. I mean, incredible one-handed grab. And honestly, guys, like that's what was a little weird about this game in general. Is that was really the only time they got him involved. Like any other time, and we'll talk about it as this game goes on, but any other time they try to get him involved, it'd be like a first or second down run that would just get completely abandoned right off the bat, where like he'd get blown up 2 or 3 yards backwards. Next thing you know, it's 2nd and 14. And this happened a lot throughout this game compared to the Packers game the week before. In the Packers game the week before, Fat Randy, 56-yard attempt. I think on the ensuing kickoff, he pulls his hamstring. But compared to the week before, the Packers game, the Giants were always getting positive yards on first down, second down for a manageable third down. I think what you saw in this... It's already an ad. You killed me with an ad right off the bat. Sorry about that. I think what you saw this time around was that the Giants were constantly moving backwards, and it wasn't a manageable even second down. You're looking at 2nd and 17 because of a false start or a hold or someone getting blown up on a screen. And that was the story this entire game. The offense couldn't do anything. They only scored 6 points. I'm already sounding like Tommy Devito. We couldn't do nothing out there. No, but seriously, guys, all joking aside, this was an ultimate letdown game. I think, honestly, from a coaching perspective, because no one seems to be too hurt right now, like besides Evan Neal, which is probably a positive that he is hurt. And then here you go. You come into the Saints Superdome, and I was kind of joking around about it before, just saying how Tommy Devito is going to be a cheat code in the dome. But, we saw a regression across the offensive line, a regression for Devito. And now Tommy Devito is 5th in the NFL right now in being sacked. And he's only played in 5 games, and last game he didn't get sacked. So, like, when he is getting sacked in these games, it really ruins the game. It really ruins the momentum. And this is the outcome that you saw today. We did actually, I think one of my mortal locks going into this was Alvin Kamara anytime touchdown, which didn't happen, but respect to 41. I think he's a hell of a player. And, of course, Giants, after I compliment the Giants defense, then here you go. You get Derek Carr, or whatever. Derek Carr looking like, just putting up a sick performance. And it's just like the Saints, we're kind of on their last legs too at 6 and 7. And this is just the ultimate, just getting blown up. And then what also makes me very nervous is going into the Christmas matchup versus the Eagles upcoming, is that the Eagles just lost in embarrassing fashion against the Seahawks last night. And now you're gonna have to deal with them coming back. And the Eagles really need a proper make-good game to get back in the winning column, because they're like, they must be questioning everything. And guys, as Giants fans, what do we know most about this time of year? Now is when you need to get the positive momentum going. Even if you aren't the best team in the world, if you get a little bit of positive momentum going and string along a couple wins towards the end of the season, that's all you need to make a successful Super Bowl playoff run. And that was also funny about this game. Every single time Devito was going to get sacked, it was only a matter of time before that was going to start piling up, everyone sacking him and doing that. And, I'm sure you'll see that through the rest of the season for the games that he's able to survive and play in. But, it's one of those things, too. It's like the media, when they shove it down your throat, let's just talk about this. I mean, this is just, he's out. Like, I watch UFC all the time. Once you see that, like, split second, that guy was out. And, he still came back to play. And, he's a tough MFer, that's for sure. But going back to Tommy DeVito and his family and the agent wearing the green jacket and the Goodfellas hat and looking like a 1920s gangster all the time, all of that starts to run its course, and you get to a point, and I don't know, there's probably like YouTube videos about this that talk about like psychology, where once you get to a certain point of liking something or enjoying it so much, then there's the flip side of that where everyone starts to turn on it, right? I think we saw that a couple times this year in the football season. Here's two key examples of that with the media. Shoving Taylor Swift down everyone's throat. I think maybe it was cool for like a game and a half. I don't really care. I don't really like Taylor Swift that much, so like it doesn't matter to me. But then now you just see like every single game, every single week there, Taylor Swift's in the crowd. She's dropping F-bombs. Like everyone's at the game looking for her. That was actually a nicely targeted pre-roll ad with the Chipotle ad. I'm a big Chipotle guy. But my point is, with Taylor Swift, they jam her down her throat. They jam her down her throat. And the media was so happy for that because, if you guys remember, before that, in the college football atmosphere, but this took over everything. Coach Prime in Colorado upset a shitty TCU game week 1, and we're putting up a pretty crazy amount of points per game, which drew a lot of attention. But every single thing that they would do and Prime would say, and other coaches were going after Prime, and everyone was like so happy to start to see them lose. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what we were getting towards Tommy DeVito with, even though I think people would have been happy if he would have been able to beat the Eagles once or twice, but now it's kind of, a done deal and over with. And I don't know if those, examples make the most sense, but I do think, in American society, we love to bring things up, and then we love to see them collapse, whether it's our favorite athletes, celebrities, politicians, anyone who really has success. It's just what we do. And you know what? Other countries do that too. We always, I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little off the rails here, but that could be another time for another story. See McKinney and Bobby Okereke fly around. I did see another stat about both of them. They are 2 out of 4 people in the NFL to play every single snap on defense this entire season so far, which is absolutely fucking incredible. For how they're constantly hitting people and hitting them as hard as they can, right? So like, to be able to have that durability throughout an entire season is kind of remarkable, especially at a safety position or a linebacker position. Middle linebacker, are you kidding me? You're in the middle of like every single play besides the center, So it's just been absolutely remarkable that they're able to do that. McKinney is due for a deal this offseason. Is it someone you want to consider investing in because of their durability? But, once they get a little bit older, injuries start to pile up. I don't know. That was a terrible missed tackle by McFadden there. But, yeah, I think, you're good. Even though the Giants season is technically over at this point, I would still love to beat the shit out of the Eagles. Then you have a game, in the middle of that sandwich with the Rams. And then you play the Eagles again. So, I don't know. I hate the Eagles, you guys. I would love to beat them. Yeah, just give the Eagles like a little bit of nervousness. Like, imagine if Tommy DeVito could beat the Eagles once, let alone twice, instead of just losing the normal Daniel Jones, twice to them in a season. Even last year, he lost 3 times, and all 3 of them were in extremely decisive fashion. Actually, Daniel Jones didn't start in the last game of the year. That was our boy Davis Webb, who he did hit on with an anytime touchdown. And it is funny to see Jimmy Graham still doing his thing. So good for him. I feel like he's past. I think he's like 38. And Wan'Dale is another guy. This offense just really struggled throughout. I think once they had to abandon Saquon, it was really the end of the game. And this was one that they never got Saquon going, and I don't think the Saints have like the most stout rush defense too, which very much concerns me, because to beat the Eagles, guys, Saquon's got to have one of the best games of his career. And I would love for that to happen, get a little momentum, and I'm sure he does too. He probably has a bunch of incentive-laden stuff. Now you're getting crunch time at the end of the season where you maybe missed a couple games too, so you have to make up either yards or touchdowns or stuff like that. So I think he might be playing for that. And then also Tommy DeVito's got to put even more stuff on tape to prove that he deserves a backup role in the NFL, whether with the Giants or somewhere else. And you know what, you guys, this game kind of summed up, I think, our season in total, because it was a couple key themes throughout, right? Defense is just on the field way too long. They eventually completely break down. Offensive line gives up I don't even know how many sacks there were in this, 6, 7. Like, it felt like a million. It felt like every second or third down, if they didn't run a screen, you got every sacked, and then everyone's doing the how you doing, gabagool, Devito clan. Too many turnovers, but the Giants have been, I feel like, fairly decent from the turnover perspective this year. You know, there's no time. Tommy, I almost called him Danny DeVito. Tommy DeVito just gets his fucking ass kicked, and here you are, 4th and 10, 5 wide. You're not even gonna even have a guy in to help block. And yeah, I think the game just summed up the season, and we still got 3 games to go, guys. And that's what's crazy. The Giants are 3rd all time in sacks given up in a single season, and there's still 3 games left. I looked up these stats before, and it was the 1986 Eagles gave up like 103 sacks in 12 games. Kudos to whoever that quarterback was, because he probably didn't have half of the injury technology available nowadays to get right for a game. He was probably like smoking a butt, drinking a beer every game in the locker room, and being like, "Oh God, I don't know how we're gonna get through this season." If he was able to, might have been like who, like Jaworski or like kind of thing. But yeah, you know, it's another tough game and a tough season. We still got 3 more to go. So thank you guys for watching.